going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Viall Files. I am your host, Nick, and it's good to be back with you. The Met Gala was last night. Well, it's tonight for us when we're recording, but it's last night for y'all. So we don't even know what happens. I do someday want to go. I do.
Yes, of course.
I think we're closer than we were last year.
We're inching our way for sure.
For sure. Do you not want to go?
I would love to go. I feel like maybe like 2052 will be our year.
2052. Oh my God.
How old will you be then?
Dead.
2052.
I'll be dead.
How many years away is that? That's like almost 20 years.
It's 27 years.
Oh my God, I'll be like in my prime 40s.
Period.
You won't be dead. You'll be close, but not yet. On the
brink.
brink.
I feel like science is going in the right direction. I was asked about my age over the weekend, and there was shock and amazement. There was.
Was there performance as well, or do you feel like it was genuine?
No, it felt very genuine.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, you
Someone fell off their chair.
How old did they think you were?
One person said 28. I thought that was a little crazy, but I'll take early 30s.
She wanted to suck your dick.
It was a he.
Perfect. He wanted to suck your dick as well.
This is the first time Natalie's doing this story.
Well, no, me and Nick we were away from each other for 4 days. I was solo momming. Nick was working.
I was working. Nellie went out to the farm where we got married.
I did. I went to the farm. I was talking to my sister Friday night. Nick left us Thursday. And then Friday night, me and River were eating supper and I was on the phone with my sister and she was like talking about like, oh yeah, like, oh, we're doing this tomorrow. We're kind of just hanging out at the farm. I've got like 2 litters of bunnies and a new puppy and new baby. Like she was just telling me all the new animals that were there. And River's very much in her animal phase.
Loves animals.
Loves animals, knows the names of them, knows what they say, like very much in her animal era.
And she's 15 months. Does that make her a genius? I don't know. You tell me. She's all we have to go by.
Yeah. And so I'm like, you know what? Nick's gone. It's just me and Riv. Like, what if we just came? And she was like, I'll pick you up.
Now I got adventurous.
I got spontaneous. And I booked a flight for the next morning. And we went for, I don't know.
24 hours.
24 hours. And had the best time. She had so much fun. We got there and we like immediately saw the bunnies and she was like, like her face, she just like lit up. She also, we're teaching gentle and we're teaching soft hands and they're 2 hard things to teach a toddler. And so she kept wanting to pick the bunnies up by their ears. And that was not good.
Well, because she probably thinks they're stuffed animals.
Yeah, no, yeah. She does pick up her stuffed animals.
How was your first time flying solo with River?
It was my first time flying solo.
That's right. Yeah, but like she was just a little bean.
She was
back
younger.
then.
Honestly, the flight there, she was asleep. We flew Southwest and I made friends with the gate agent. And so she was like, come on, baby, it's your turn. Come on. And I was definitely like B57. Like it was definitely not my turn, but she let me and River get on with the A's. And then there was a flight attendant standing in the front row. And it was not a full flight. So they really wanted everyone to spread out. Like they were like, you can't all get in the front of the plane. Like everyone's got to spread out. And so I was like, could we sit here? And she was like, I'm only allowing 2 people to sit here. So if you have a family of 3, it's not going to work. And I was like, no, it's just me and the baby. And she was like, come on in. And so we got the whole like front row to ourselves and River knocked out before we even took off.
You had a front row?
Front row.
You had B50 whatever the fuck and you ended up in the front row?
Because she let me go with the A's because I made friends with her and River was smiling at her. And she fell asleep before we even took off, which thank God, slept the whole flight. The man in front of me was this very old man and I could see his text. And that, let me tell you, that is my favorite thing to do on a flight is to eavesdrop and read some text of the people in front of me. And I honestly wish that I had not. This man was asking who I'm hoping is his wife. He said something about like, you want to get that ass whipped, winky face, tongue emoji, like was getting real dirty. And she was like, yeah, baby, I do. And I was like, I've got to stop, but I could not take my eyes off of it.
I would be locked in at that point. I would be thanking the Lord that he like gave me that in-flight entertainment.
I know.
Because usually Wi-Fi is just never working.
And that's what he said. He said I tried out the free Wi-Fi. And so I figured I'd text you. That was his first text to her. And honestly,
this is definitely not his wife.
Well, she texted like Nick. She sent very much like, yeah, nice, okay, cool. Until he started talking dirty. And then she was like, emoji, emoji, emoji. Yes, 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 daddy. Crazy, crazy. And then he would like look kind of like over. I think maybe he was looking at River because obviously she was asleep. But I had to act so like I'm not staring at your phone. I was like looking out the window. I'd close my eyes. I would act like I was doing absolutely anything but reading this man's text.
Wait, and you said there's an older couple?
He was an older man just by himself.
Like how old?
Late 60s probably.
Okay.
Good for him.
Yeah.
And
He
them.
was
He was working on it.
He's working. And anyways, I have never felt stronger in my arms than this trip with River. First of all, I mowed the lawn the day before. Let's just get that out in the air. I mowed the lawn, the front yard, and then there was a thunderstorm rolling in. So I was like, oh my God, I have to finish or else we're going to like be fucked. And River was asleep for the front lawn. And then she wakes up as soon as I start the back. And I was like, you got to do this with me, honey. We got to finish. So I bring her outside. She's just like standing there watching me for a while. We're playing peekaboo. I'm like, where's mommy going? To the side of the house. And then I'm like, peekaboo, I'm back.
Is that why there's a couple like patches?
Yes. And then she was like chasing me. It was a whole thing. Like we were really trying to get it done. We were a team for sure.
Did you start the lawnmower by yourself?
It's electric.
It's electric, yes. But
Press a button.
But there are a lot of buttons
I
that
can't
would have
do
made
it.
my life easier had I had known about them.
She definitely figured it out on her own. There was no tutorial.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. And what honestly made it a little worse for me is as I'm like killing myself on the front lawn, landscapers drive by and they do the lawn next to me with a riding mower. And I have never felt more watched and judged in my entire life. I will be honest with you.
They're probably just checking you out.
I think they were probably looking at all the missing patches or in all this, I'm just.
Well, they didn't come over and offer you a card or anything.
They didn't.
What an opportunity to get new business.
No, they were like, she's got it handled.
Anyway, so I was really sore from doing all that. So then now I'm going to the airport. I've got River's car seat. I've got our suitcase with both of our stuff in it. And I have like the diaper bag and I have River. I can't put her down to walk because she'll end up like not
Running.
we're going the wrong direction, right? She's not heading the right way. So I'm holding her the whole time. And when I landed in Savannah, my sister picked me up and we got in the car. And as we drove off, there was a bomb threat in the Savannah airport and everyone had to evacuate. Like people couldn't take their things, like stuff was being left on flights. Like they were like, this is going to take pretty much a whole day to get everything back on schedule. Like they were so behind. People, like they had to find their luggage after they all came back in. Just nightmare. So
Terrifying.
praying for the best, everybody.
Well, thankfully you got back in time because you came back the next day in the same.
I did.
airport.
But she had so much fun at the farm and she was just running around and seeing all the animals and was just like, it was so cute and she loved it so much. And it's like so fun to start seeing. Now she's at an age and Leia, you'll get there soon of like where you start to see them like experience things through their eyes and you're like, oh no, that's so cool. Like they think this is the greatest thing ever and it's something you've seen a million times.
I was away from her for 3 days. I think that's the longest I've ever been away from her, and it honestly felt like she developed and evolved. Like it was not fun. I mean, I enjoyed missing her. I do feel like she missed me, so that was a new experience that was fun. But I thought I might have to leave her for like 5 weeks and ended up not having to leave her for work. And I honestly couldn't imagine what that would have been like.
No, she would have been a completely different baby.
Yeah. So, I don't know, that's crazy. Well, we have an amazing show lined up for you today, and not too long, Angela Oakley from the Real Housewives of Atlanta will be joining us after an explosive episode last night where she was boxing with everyone.
She says stretch marks around your lips.
She's
Your mouth got mouths.
That means
she
too
said that
much.
mouth got miles on it, honey. That was crazy.
well, if you do get, you see people with who go a little nuts with those injections, and you get those stretch marks. You've never seen that.
I don't think she was referring to filler though. She was talking about like sucking dick.
Oh, she definitely wasn't. No.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I was just like, good point. Like be very cautious with those injections. But anyways,
literal.
either way, I'm glad we got to the bottom of it. She will be joining us as well. Also, Tucker Wetmore is joining us fresh off of his appearance at Stagecoach. He's like one of the hottest new country artists in country music today. And we got to hang out with him for a bit. He slid into someone's DMs, where I really appreciated the swing, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone's
I found
seems
them to be surprisingly
sliding in there.
wholesome.
How many DM slides do you think this particular lady gets every day? Thousands.
So
I can't
many.
even think of the number.
Yeah. Also this week on Going Deeper, Lexi Wood will be joining us to talk about her relationship with Jesse, how she ended up on the show in the first place. It'll be a great chance to actually get to know Lexi Wood. She has a very interesting past. She dated Brooklyn Beckham. So I'm curious how she felt like that was like that transition from like Brooklyn to Jesse was. Anyways, we'll be talking with her. So that should be a very interesting episode. I really appreciate how she's been handling herself this season. It's been fun to watch. I've been pretty impressed with Lexi. I think she's surprised lots of us with just how she kind of showed up this season. So it would be great to get to know her.
I was really surprised with the Valley reunion seating chart because what is that?
Because like Michelle and Jesse are like my two favorite in terms of following on the show. Jesse's getting a front seat, but Michelle, she's at the end. Do you think it's maybe because they're just so toxic and hate each other so much that they just have to be the furthest distance apart from each other?
I mean, even if that is the case, I would have preferred to have Michelle sitting second seat and Jesse like so far toward the end that he's not even on camera.
I know, obviously, in terms of like, we assume the people closest to Andy are probably going to get like the most airtime. But are there other aspects of the seating chart in terms of how they determine it? What's this fan speculation?
I mean, I did see someone comment on the seating chart saying like, funny that Michelle is like the prime storylines, but she's the last seat. And then Sheena commented on that comment saying like, don't worry, I've been there too, or whatever. I don't know, something. So I think it's just like whoever they think is going to be the most relevant come the reunion time goes first and second seat. And then from there, you separate them based off like who's friends with who can't talk to who. And it's also like a color coordinated thing as well. They're sent colors to like match their placements where they are.
So maybe she just wore the wrong outfit, you know?
I think it's just that there's more diabolical shit coming from Jesse this season, that there's a lot more to talk to Jesse about than there is Michelle.
I guess, but I feel like anything diabolical he'd have to do would have to do with Michelle. So it's like, why not have Brittany, Jax, Michelle, Jesse, then Kristen, Luke, Nina, Danny, Jasmine, and Zach? Because I get they want to keep the couples together, so why not put the couples kind of closer to the end and the two toxic divorcees at the top? I have questions.
And maybe Nick's got onto something, and she's like, I don't want to have to stare at him the whole time. And they're like, cool, then you can sit at the end. And
Yeah.
she was like, okay.
I guess maybe a fit was pitched.
Well, Jax Taylor doesn't think he was ever supposed to get married. Okay. Yeah.
What a weird thing to say. I guess just like having a kid, which I guess like the kid came after marriage, right?
Yeah, and I think that like everybody in Vanderpump was like growing up and settling down and whatnot, so he just kind of felt like this was his next step. I don't know that he ever really should have gotten married, to be honest. Just like his behavior didn't really change that much. And as we've seen from the Valley, it's not like he's matured or tried to like really work on his marriage. So I'm like, I just don't think it's something that he ever wanted to do. And then I think it was something that he felt he should do because he was with Brittany and she wanted to get married. But
I know Jax will never come on this show because I think I'm still blocked. So I think that's probably a non-starter. But Jesse I'd put in a very similar category in terms of like how in different ways this comes across as like an emotional terrorist to women. Again, Jax, like I think there literally is some kind of mental health crisis going on there. Jesse seems of sound mind and sound body. He seems like a rational person. And like, how does he watch this stuff and just be comfortable leaning in, you know? Like you see people in other shows and other seasons like have like, you know, maybe a bad edit or whatever because they're just kind of messy and they're going for it and fighting with friends. But like, again, when it comes to like this show, and that's why I love it and so real, it's just like, we're talking about the most intimate interpersonal relationships, husband and wife, dad, parent, you know, things like that. And specifically around these men and how they talk to, treat women. And it's one thing to be Jesse and West and be kind of like unserious fuckboys who just like need to grow up and like maybe look a little embarrassing because like they're in their early 30s, like partying at 4 a.m. Like it's another thing to look like you're dangerous to women or that you're like you're an emotional terrorist. And I want to know what, like if they're comfortable, like just being known as that on TV. And like Jesse ended season 1, had an opportunity to watch it and like no notes, you know what I'm saying? Like he's come in just as toxic, just as just terrible. And this truly
Yeah.
must be who he is. And again, this is how Michelle talks about him in this manner. So it just, I don't know, like, it still blows my mind that he like had a thing with Anna Nicole Smith. Like, I mean, you know what? She was kind of in some ways, I don't like, maybe not the best comparison, but like in terms of like the internet's girlfriend of every man's dream, like Sydney Sweeney is today, like Anna Nicole Smith kind of was that back then. And the fact that he had let alone a conversation with her, let alone like maybe some kind of dating relationship, maybe that just like fucked him up forever. Like maybe he just like, he just thought he was like God's gift to human beings, that like it justified him acting this way. I don't know. I'm mesmerized by it, but it's something.
I mean, Jesse and Jax are the type of men to just copy someone else's merch line. And as we saw, Jax copied Kristen's merch line.
Well, that was kind of crazy. It's like screenshots.
I like
Same
texted Kristen
fonts.
and I was like, I need you to post Jax's response to your text. She didn't respond.
Literally.
But she didn't respond. But and I'm assuming he probably didn't respond. I feel like that's the type of thing Jax would just like ignore. But that was so funny,
Right.
Kristen, to be like, Jax, this is a complete like replica.
It's an exact ripoff, and it's photos from her website.
It's crazy. That's crazy.
But are we surprised? No.
Did you see that Katie from Real Housewives of OC might not be like on next season, or there's like a feud happening right now? Have you been seeing this?
I feel like I just asked Alex Baskin
Yeah.
about her, and he was like, "Love,
Yeah.
what's
she's on.
happening?"
She wasn't invited on the cast trip. She starts posting on her own, and then a source spoke out and basically said Katie wanted to go on the trip, but she was not allowed to. Let's just say her future on Real Housewives of Orange County is not looking bright.
What do you mean not allowed to?
I don't know. I'm assuming it was a cast trip hosted by whoever she's feuding
Do you think
with,
Alex
but-
Baskin would lie to us?
Yes.
Well, and the source also said she got into a major altercation with Gretchen Rossi and Emily Simpson. Without saying too much, a major announcement will be coming soon regarding her status on the show.
Emily has not liked her since last season. So
And Gretchen?
that's,
T.
yeah, it's like Gretchen's new.
Mhm.
Unless she knows her from before. Definitely will be watching
Alan
that.
Cummings says reality stars are constantly begging him to join Traders. He says, I have constant barrages of reality stars now in my DMs and in my life asking me to be on the Traders. Yeah, it makes sense.
They think he's
That's
casting.
the hottest reality TV show on TV right now with probably the lowest risk of like looking bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There's really no like villains, I guess, besides Danielle. But yeah, there's really no villains.
And even then, I don't think she was like a villain more so than people were just like upset with her gameplay.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like people don't take it personally the way they do in reality TV where it's like, I have a villain and I have a favorite. It's like Traders. You're like, well, I would do things differently, but like I don't hate her.
I mean, it's interesting how broad of a net they cast in terms of like what shows, obviously you have all of Bravo, Bachelor Nation, all the years of Bachelor alum and Bravo alum. And then you have the gamers. If you've popped in any, just in reality TV in general, plus now I've heard they're trying to elevate it a little bit, maybe get more athletes or an actor or whatever. So I think it's not going to just be reality TV stars, things like that. Cause they've always like past 2 seasons, they've had some like British royalty. You had Parliament the season before, then you had
Yes.
royalty last season. So I think you're going to see them sprinkle in other cast people other than reality TV stars. But I would love to know who's DM'd Alan trying to get on and wondering if they really have a shot or not. I'm guessing if you're DMing, you have no shot.
I mean, I don't think Alan is like your way in.
Yeah, Alan's not the way in. He's just the host. He has nothing to do. I mean, I suppose if he really, really was passionate about someone, I guess he could call in a favor and he could certainly put him in the front of the line.
But yeah, I feel like if you're DMing Alan and not like calling him or like seeing him when y'all hang out and asking, maybe you aren't close enough to get like put on that way,
Unless you recently
Or-
popped, and like recently in the past 18 months at the maximum, and you've like popped in some crazy way, and maybe you just, you don't have a manager or an agent, or you don't like, you know what I'm saying? But most of these reality TV stars that they're casting at this point are like, have been in the business long enough that they have kind of representation of some kind. So I'm guessing that would be
Well-
the person you would go through.
I've seen some rumors that Love Island people from season 6 will be.
Oh yeah.
Janae
Peacock. It would
and
be crazy if it's
Cordell.
Wait, but aren't they filming the spinoff?
These bitches are booked and busy. Like,
Well, that's probably.
I would not be surprised.
Maybe that's why.
Rob.
Rob and Cordell.
Yeah.
Cordell.
Cordell. God, didn't they say Cordell was doing another show or another job? It's Traders.
But he said it wasn't Traders.
He said it was
wasn't
scripted.
Traders.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, he said it was scripted.
But also, he could be lying because he doesn't want anybody to know he's going to be on Traitors.
Let's normalize people
know.
lying.
That's what I feel like that's fair.
I mean, I guess he could have just not said anything, you know,
Someone
if it was
probably
true.
asked them though.
Oh, like, yeah.
Is it Traitors? That's the obvious guess.
And I think people are trying to put a negative spin on him not being a part of the cast, like him and Rob. And then Serena was the one that came out and been like, my baby is booked and busy. That's why he's not in there, but he'll be on there supporting me. So I think that she kind of led into it. And then he obviously got interviewed by TMZ and was like, no, I'm on something. It's a scripted show. But I'm like, that would also be a good way to divert.
Who he told this. Yeah. I mean, if I'm him, I'm lying.
I'm like, yeah, it was an interview like on the streets that I saw.
I feel like Serena said it wasn't Traitors.
Yeah, maybe it's not. I don't know.
She just
It'd be
said her
crazy
baby's
if they
booked and
didn't
busy.
cast someone from last season on Traitors, given like the synergy of Peacock and Love Island. That would be kind of nuts.
Honestly, wouldn't Rob have been a good contender for Traitors? Because
Yeah,
he's
he
kind of
would.
like
I would-
straight-faced,
Yeah. Quiet, unassuming.
wouldn't really know.
Mysterious, hard to read, you know.
can cry randomly.
He'll probably, he'll probably get that
Offer.
I'm sure he'll get an offer, but the Peter Weber, the Dylan kind of
Yeah.
role, I could see Rob coasting pretty far, just being quiet and good looking. I mean, or just like Sam
Asghari.
Sam did. I would be shocked if that would be crazy to not have someone from that cast on the next season of Traitors.
Agreed.
I mean, I wouldn't complain to see them on my screen.
This is a housewife I want to see on Traitors. Stephanie Soje from the upcoming Miami Housewives.
a new housewife.
She's new, and I know that doesn't apply to Traitors, but like there's a line in the trailer where it's like Alexia and her, so an OG versus her going off, and she might have been from the original cast, but she goes, "Oh, I'm Alexia," and like mocks her, and I was like, because Alexia always throws her name out there, like that's one of the people she is on the cast,
yeah.
and I just feel like it's going to be a good season in Miami.
Oh, I'm so excited. I want updates on Lisa Hochstein. I want to know what Alexia's no longer with, Peter? Or no, Peter's her son.
I don't even remember.
Yeah. What's his name? I'd love to see a single Alexia again.
Like,
We had
is
Gertie,
Alexia,
she's on there
when you
still.
say she throws her name out there, like third person?
No, like, do you know who I am?
Yeah, so like in the thing, she's like, "Don't talk to me that way. I'm Alexia Napola or whatever," and she goes, "Oh, I'm Alexia," and like mocks her, and I'm like, "Oh, we
No,
need
but
to
she
do
mocks
this."
Has anyone
Alexia.
ever done that? Like said, I'm Leia.
Well, that's
No, never.
embarrassing.
Yeah. No.
Never.
We have this thing called humility. Have you?
Have you?
No, I refuse.
He hesitated.
You never
Good
walked
thing.
into a room and said, "I'm Nick, and I demand this."
I don't know if I ever really say my name.
I've never referred to myself in third person.
Yeah, I don't think I ever have either.
what
Sierra
makes
wants a
someone do
snack. If
that?
I
But like, I think we're all in agreement. It's a very embarrassing thing for someone to do, and yet there's plenty of people who do it. Like, it's not that
Lala
uncommon.
used to do that all the time.
Technically, Nick does it every day. Think about it. Every episode. How do
What
we
do you-
open the show?
What's going
Welcome
on
back
today,
to the Viall
buddy?
Files.
Yeah, no, that's
That's so different.
introducing yourself. Thank you very much.
No, but Lala used to do that all the time on Vanderpump Rules.
Oh, yeah.
She'd be like, "Do you want Lala to pop off?
Yeah. True.
Is Lala in the room with us?"
Do you want to get popped or are you trying to get along? Well, I don't want to get popped.
Literally.
All right, well, up next, Angela Oakley from The Real Housewives of Atlanta joins us, and following that, we'll break down last week's episode of Summer House. I've teased a little bit, but I've like Jesse and West have given me like a revelation about like dating in general, and excited to break it all down with you after Angela. But she is with us right now, so let's bring her on. I'm a bread girl. And that is why I love Hero Bread, because, I'm not the only bread girl out there. With Hero Bread, you can focus on your health goals and still indulge in your favorite bready meals guilt-free. You guys all know I've been on a bit of a health kick this year. All I've really done is stay away from sugar. I'm still enjoying bread, and I'm doing it because I have Hero Bread by my side, because whatever they're doing, I just feel a lot less full of bread or puffy after bread.
We've also been making turkey sandwiches
Yeah.
at home for lunch, and we've been very much in
Boom.
our let's stay at home. And I'm doing it all with Hero Bread sourdough. It is so delicious.
It is delicious, all thanks to Hero Bread, and we feel good after eating it as well. They got so many great options: bagels, croissants, bread, easy to make, and it feels like you are eating fresh baked bakery whenever you have that hero bread.
They're ultra low net carbs, 0 grams of sugar, and high in fiber. Hero Bread is offering 10% off your order. Go to hero.co and use code VIALL at checkout. That's VIALL at HERO.co.
Ladies, if you have a classic man in your life, he's, doesn't want to get too flared up with the outfits, but wants something that's sharp, it's nice, it fits well, it's classic, your classic pieces, every guy, they're staples that every guy has. Well, you need to check out Mack Weldon, because Mack Weldon is where I go for, some of those like basic, real reliable things like t-shirts, Henleys, hoodies, sweaters, polos. Mack Weldon has top of the line pieces in all those classic departments.
Honestly, every time Nick walks into a room with a Mack Weldon shirt on, I'm like, oh my God, hot.
Mack Weldon clothes are designed to fit your style and the demands of modern life. They look like regular clothes, but feel like the latest in modern comfort. Their new tech linen line combines the easy charm of classic linen with cool Max technology to help you look and feel your best all season long. So if you run hot, especially in the summer, maybe you're taking like a trip, right now, and it's going to be muggy, and you don't want to be like sweating through like dinner every time, you need to get the Mack Weldon Tech Linen line. It's fantastic. Give your closet a breath of fresh air for spring. Go to MackWeldon.com and get 25% off your first order of $125 or more with promo code VIALL. That is Mack Weldon. That's spelled MackWeldon.com. Promo code VIALL. Hi, Angela. How are you?
Hello. How are
We're
you
great.
guys?
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You look
so happy to be
stunning. What are
here.
you doing?
Girl, I did my own makeup.
You
trying
Oh,
to
we-
save some money.
See, we respect that. Yeah. I feel
Wow.
like how many housewives do you feel like do their own glam before our show? I'm very impressed, because I feel like housewives maybe are the most like in demand of glam.
Yeah, but it's so early. I was like, I didn't have anyone to call. We're in Miami right now. Hence, we're at the Faena little background bedroom set. But
Well, you look stunning. We would have never known. How are you
Yes.
enjoying your rookie season on the cast of Real Housewives of Atlanta? Is it everything you imagined, or?
no, it's not. It's not. And they say you get upset, 3 times when it happens, when you see it, and then at the reunion. So I'm on my second time, getting upset about what I'm seeing.
Okay.
But overall, I feel like we're doing okay.
Okay. Well, last night's episode was definitely Angela heavy in the best possible way. We really enjoyed it. But like, what did you think about what you saw? Like, yeah, what you kind of referred that it was a little bit upsetting. Was it just like being triggered and brought back to that moment? Like, what did you find that was maybe the little most upsetting for you?
I feel like a lot of it was, unnecessary. I didn't feel like we had to get that far. But as I'm watching it back, I see why it was necessary. I was like, oh, you've been talking about me this whole time in relation to one of the castmates when I thought we were friends, when I thought we had moved on. But clearly that wasn't the case. So once it hit a head, I was just like, you know what, let me nail this head all the way in, or just
So it don't come back out.
don't grow hairs, don't sprout, nothing. I want to see remnants of you again. I'm tired of it. Here we go.
Was it frustrating for you to kind of see, like, with the Portia and Charles accusations, her deny it to you and then in her confessionals admit to it?
No, I didn't think she would, admit to it per se, because she had the opportunity to admit to it when I went downstairs that night.
Yeah.
That was the perfect time to say, hey, I did say it, so I didn't wait. I went directly to the source when I heard it, and just to see what she meant, what she said, why she said what she said.
And you still haven't really gotten an answer.
No,
I mean,
I
she
know
apologized,
she said it. She said it. She said it. I think we're beyond her saying it.
Okay.
It's just a matter of, why would you say something like that?
Well, Angela, I've been a big fan of your husband for a long time. I mean, shoot, like since he was rocking and rolling with the Knicks, been a big fan. But what does he think about this whole Housewives experience? Is he been as triggered as you have? Is he going through the 3 stages alongside with you, or is he kind of checked out?
Well, he initially was checked out. You can see that on screen. He's like, I don't care, whatever. He initially just But now he is clocked in. He was like, they don't even know me. Why are they saying this about me? So he is fully immersed in this experience. And I need him. I need him with me because it's like 20 versus 1 right now.
Yeah, it was that the Cynthia Bailey barbecue was
The Bailey cue.
the Bailey cue.
Refreshing. I had a ball. Cynthia put on a great barbecue. The food was good. I just had to do a little housekeeping, but I had a ball. We had a ball.
I really respected the barbecue sauce in the picture.
Yeah.
Like very
Made it
easy
cameo.
distribution. Because usually, you have to the spoon and you're there in line and it's like scoop. You have
Cynthia
to,
knows
you're
what
holding
she's
the
doing.
line up. You could just pour it. It's very, I really respect that.
Cynthia always has a great idea about how to, make something work.
But speaking of food, why won't Charles eat your food?
Nick won't eat my food either, so it's okay.
Excuse me? You know what? I think I'm a very good cook. He's just so particular. But let me be clear. I am not trying to wrestle him out of the kitchen. By all means, if you want to cook. My kids don't even eat it. So
They don't eat your food or they don't eat Charles's food?
they don't eat my
Oh
food.
no.
That's we have the same thing going on in our household too.
Who cooks? Who does the cooking?
Him.
I cook.
He's very particular. Yeah.
There's just a
I'm
right way
with
to
you.
cook, and then there's a wrong way to cook. That's all.
And there's an easy way to let you cook. And
Yes,
feel like
I will
that's
step
not
out of the
aligned.
kitchen.
I enjoy
Yeah.
cooking. I enjoy doing it. I really do. I feel
can
at home
have
in the
it.
kitchen. So I'm not complaining at all. I imagine Charles feels the same way. I imagine he enjoys being in there.
He prefers me to get out of the kitchen, and I adore that. I love. I get mad when I have to cook. Like when he travels, I'm like, wait, so what are we gonna eat?
Me
I
too.
don't
I'm like, oh God, I gotta order something.
yeah.
One thing I'm kind of always astounded by and fascinated by this show. It's why when Natalie and I get approached about ever talking about, being on these types of shows, I'm like, no way. Because like the way Cast just like platforms the dirtiest and nastiest of rumors about people as like
Yeah.
part of getting the drama, which can be very damaging to like real relationships. So like how did you feel about Portia just doing that to you? Like that
Well, Britt initially is the one who threw it out.
Who threw out the Wendy Williams story?
Yeah.
You know what? That story keeps circulating, but I will say I don't know if that story is not. I think the story is the reason I was cast away because I feel like it just gives so much drama.
Mm.
But that's not the case. Charles did not have a side baby. We can clear that. His son is of age. I don't know if it's time for me to tell his true age, but I initially said it. And Wendy Williams and I had a conversation that just went left. I gave her some unsolicited advice,
Are you able to share what that advice was?
I told her, maybe she should stay with her husband.
Ooh.
And I know he had a baby on her, but I just thought I was the biggest Wendy fan. And I felt like now's my chance. I saw her in a private event and I just went up to her. If Charles knew I did this ahead of time, he would have just kicked me out the party. Because me and my big mouth, so I was like, now's my time. I snuck over to her and I was just like, Wendy, it's just a baby. And she went off. That's why I'm like, the fans are defending Wendy. Wendy went off on me herself. So it wasn't like Wendy was just sitting there. She was like, get the F away from me. And she was just like, has that ever happened to you? Oh, Wendy went off. And she had her manager right by her. And I'm like,
What did you say?
just that it's just a baby. And I felt like, look, I'm sorry. I have not lived this day down in my life. Like, this is one of my worst moments because now I'm thinking back. And I'm like, that was Wendy Williams. Like, who the heck do you think you are to give her unsolicited advice?
What was Charles' reaction when you told him you did that?
Well, he didn't know. He only got the reaction of me just being oh my God, Wendy just cussed me out.
Well,
And he was just like,
Angela, I just want to say, first of all, thank you for sharing that story. Second of all, we all have a story in our life about just like, I don't know, just kind of being out of body and doing something where we were like, what the fuck was that? But walking up to Wendy Williams and saying, it's just a baby was a crazy thing to say.
and it grew legs. And I'm sitting at home eating my bonbons, and she's on her show. Like, I saw Charles, and I'm just flabbergasted because here I am, just a regular civilian, and my name is splashed on her show. And you know what? She did what I would have done too. Like, if you're bold enough to say this to me, I'm gonna put some juice on it. I'm gonna put some sauce on it. I'm gonna make it juicy because you didn't lost your mind. And that's what Wendy did. So she gave me what I deserved. She added that I said he had a baby on me. It was not Charles Oakley. No, it was my oldest daughter's father, who,
Is that kind of
Yeah.
why whenever Britt brought it up at Cynthia's party that you were kind of like, what? Like, you kind of didn't really have this like, oh my
I
God.
was like, you better have receipts.
Yeah. Yeah. You kind
Where are your receipts? Because we're not going to bring rumors to the table because there's enough to go around for everybody.
yeah.
So I was just like, you better have receipts. And of course, the only receipt they're going to pull up is the Wendy Williams video.
Yeah.
But,
Watching that scene back did you regret anything you said or do you stand by everything you said to Britt?
it took me too long to get to that point to have a regret. Like, I was slow walking it.
Yeah.
Now I don't have a regret. I'm sorry. I took my time with you. I thought we were friends in Nashville. I thought we were friends when we saw each other in Neiman Marcus. I thought we had moved forward just based on me asking you a simple question with regards to her license. I thought we moved past it, but apparently we didn't. And so I was just like, now. And I had apologized to her 15 times.
Yeah.
I was tired. And that was the result of just saying, you know what, it is what it is. Sorry for it.
You said that mouth got miles on it. Stretch marks around the lip.
Hey, I'm just throwing rocks. If you get hit, holla. And
Angela, do you ever practice your zingers, your one-liners as a new housewife? Because like we've heard different things that like some housewives are just like that witty. Other housewives, we've heard rumors like they hire comedy writers or writers that come up with lines for shows. Are you just naturally like that, or do you have to like think about it, going into some moments where you know there's going to be some drama?
Think about it. Like I didn't know she was going to invite me to her mouth. You know what I mean? Like, that's what all of the content is. Like, why would you invite me to your mouth when she said, read the words that are coming? I'm like, what? Your mouth. Let's talk about it. No, you you don't have time to really, because you're immersed.
In
like
the
you're
moment.
in it.
Yeah.
And no, I've heard that as well, that some, that people have writers, and our family is just naturally sarcastic, natural. And me and Charles go at it all day.
What are your thoughts on Kelly?
You know what? I will say after this episode, I was a little disappointed in Kelly because I just want her to plant her flag and just be like, this is what it is. And sometimes I feel like she kind of, goes wherever the wind blows. But I just didn't have an ally. And I was, looking around like, oh, so it's all of y'all.
Did you kind of feel like Drew left you hanging?
Yeah.
Yeah, because there was that little clip of her being like, I'm not going over there. I'm staying over here.
And then I look back, I'm like, where were you? We didn't see that. But I'm like, where are you? And then I was like, in Nashville, I kind of felt like, where are you?
Yeah.
And then again, I feel like Drew could only assisted me. Her help would have been minimal because I felt like I got this. Drew,
Yeah.
sit down. I got this.
You have had her back for, so it's like, yeah, where was she when you needed her?
Yeah, she was not around.
Yep.
But I don't think her not being around affected much of the outcome, because had she been around, it would have been the same. You would have gotten what you got.
Have you seen Kelly's dog?
I have.
What are your thoughts on her spending $1,000 a month on coloring this dog?
I mean, that's her baby, and she treats her dog like her baby. And so, she spoils her dog, and I think that makes her feel good.
I mean, if like you can't spoil a dog, right? Like too much. Like,
Because,
with
they don't
with
really
River, we're
know.
always like, okay, well, it's exciting to be able to give your kid things and have them see that, excitement on their face. But at some point you have to like pull it back out of fear that they might turn into something. But like with a dog,
Come on.
you get to feel good all day long. Just
Her dog's glam is better than mine. Can you see her dog with lashes? Like,
It's
her
crazy.
dog is beat. So I think her dog may be used to a little, dogs know. Dogs know when they're supposed to be glamorous. I think Kelly's dog knows.
well, Angela, it's not just your first season; it's going to be your first reunion as well. And just like you said, like there's filming the season and watching it, but the reunion is a whole nother beast. Going into it, who in your cast do you want to address the most, or get to the bottom of anything? And is there also someone in your cast that you're worried that might be coming for you?
I think all of them are going to come for me. I don't feel like I have any allies. I hope that I'm wrong, with the exception of Drew. I hope that I'm wrong. I don't see any inroads to saying, hey, Angela may have been right. Like, I don't see any inroads to support. And so I don't know if that's going to show up. However, I only have my intentions on clearing up some things that happen at the finale. And that happens with Phaedra when she comes. So they can come for me. I'll just be blocking and blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
Because you and Portia ended on a good note at Cynthia's party, so something else happens in the second half of the season.
I feel like she tagged in help.
Okay. Well,
That's just what it is.
do you feel like it's a little bit of like rookie hazing?
Well, it's more than one rookie. You know what I mean? Like, why do I need all of the hazing?
That's
It's
true.
more than one rookie. I thought I was walking into a group of, I don't know, I guess I thought we was going to have tea and go shopping and talk about our children, talk about our marriages and our businesses. But no, so you see me slow walking and learning at the same time, like, oh, this is what we're doing. So it took me a while to catch up. But once I found out what we were doing, I was ready.
Okay. So it's safe to say that despite it not being what you expected and it being a little tougher, no regrets. And if they'll ask you, you'll come back for season 2?
We have 7 more episodes to go. Let's see
All right.
what happens in these episodes.
Are Kelly and Britt gonna beef at all? Because we see a little something in the trailer.
Their beef was so good. It was so funny. I was just eating popcorn like, I love it. Give me more.
Whose side were you on?
And I'm not just, it was just good to me. I mean, enough of me. Let's talk about Kelly and Britt. So it surprised me, but I will say it's very entertaining.
Okay. Were you on a side, Britt or Kelly's?
Of course, I was on a side.
Okay.
Kelly, you can do no wrong. Kelly,
Okay.
we love you.
Last question before we let you go, Angela. What is it? I'll ask Cynthia when I see her next, but I didn't know prophets were a thing. I thought that was like something like you read in a Bible. Or is that the same as like a psychic or a tarot card reader? Like did you believe in that stuff?
No. I mean, no. I mean, do you guys remember Miss Cleo, or is that before your time?
I kind of
She was like
that
a
rings a
tarot
bell.
card reader who, could
Late
tell
night.
you your future, and it was just like this big scam. But I won't talk about because Cynthia adores her. But for me, I'm like, okay, like you're telling me to be sexy for my husband. Okay, like what else we got? What about these bills? Can we talk about these bills? Can we talk about can we talk about stuff that matters? Like,
Yeah, I forgot who she told, but she's like, you just need to slow. No,
Shamia.
yeah,
I think.
Is it slow
Where
down?
She was like, you need to just yeah. It was like,
it's your year to make money, and sometimes doing nothing is doing something, and it's like, oh, okay, like I don't know. It's just like.
Speaking of Shamia, why did you text her after Nashville?
I was pissed.
Yeah.
So you guys, you don't play with your spouse, right? I don't care who he is, what he's done, but I thought I was walking to a circle. Okay, I see some married women, so we're gonna align on that. You don't have to like me, you can talk about me, but on our house, we're gonna align and we're gonna stay firm. So when I saw that Shamia just did not stand up to Portia in that moment, I was like, not you. You know what I mean? Like, come on, I thought we had something. And she explained that she doesn't take on Portia's beef and she allows, which is not true, but she allowed Portia to kiki and laugh. But you don't play about, that's just something I take serious. I don't play about my house, my kids.
Yeah.
And so to see other women that. Even in the housewives sphere is different.
I respect that.
What did your text really say to Shamia? Because they really made it out like,
Yeah, it was like beep beep, and you know what, beep beep,
and then it was like fast forward, like it was the longest message ever.
It was laced with just disappointment, and it was more so just letting her know. And I thought it would, reach her in a way that it did not reach her. It did not land. She did not care, because I've never seen women, especially of a certain age, just vie for the attention of one woman. And it was an audition. I'm sorry. It was just Portia standing and all of these women in her face just dragging me. And I'm like, but where's the individuality? Where's the independence? Where is I don't know. I just didn't see it.
Who on the cast has disappointed you the most?
Her.
Yeah.
Her. I walked in with high hopes for her. And I hate to give, put high hopes or anything on anyone. But I'm like, okay, we're married. Mm-hmm. Boom. We got to protect our house. Boom. And we're Tauruses, the zodiac thing.
Yeah.
And that didn't happen. And so that once I saw, Shamia for what she was in that moment, I just like, let's fair game.
Wow.
Well, Angela, it's been awesome to talk with you. Thanks for answering all our questions, sharing your stories. Good luck the rest of the way. We're definitely rooting for you. Really enjoying you so far. So thank you again and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. Bye, you guys.
Bye. She's the best.
What a queen.
Yeah.
All of the
I love Angela.
Atlanta housewives are just like so iconic. Even though it's her first season, I feel like she's iconic.
Oh, she's great. Yeah, unafraid. Just she showed up today.
Mm-hmm. Angela's also so iconic in Nashville when she filmed the girls and then she played back the tape and you literally hear nothing. And she's like, it clearly happened.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Yeah. She's like, and I recorded them and here's the proof. And it's like,
yeah.
like, okay.
Babe, I didn't ask you, but being away from me for 3 days, like, did you enjoy the break or how much was I missed? Who missed me more, River or you?
I think probably me. I mean, listen, it's single moms out there. Like, you deserve all of the praise. It is incredibly hard to, and I can't even imagine with more children, but like, it's hard. And I guess I realized how much you do.
Oh, really? Thanks. That was nice for you to say. That wasn't even a setup. I wasn't expecting.
Oh, well, you do. Yeah, you do a lot. And it's hard when you like don't have anyone else to be like, hey, can you take her for a moment so I can shower? It was like me and River were taking a shower together. We're going to bed at the same time.
Do you think, both tough situations, do you think it'd be tougher single moms or deadbeat, like in a marriage with deadbeat dads, just like absolutely no
Oh my
help?
God, definitely deadbeat dads, because then you got to like take care of them as well. And it's like,
Yeah.
like then they also want like attention from you or like sex from you. And it's like, you don't even, definitely deadbeat dad. But I will say when Nick got home, he was like, all right, I'm going to go to the grocery store. And I was like, okay, will you take River? And he was like, well, how would I grocery shop and take River? I'm like, bitch, I was just doing this for 4
I didn't say
days.
how.
You did.
I was just
You're like, and how would I like take her to the grocery store and grocery shop?
but like so
you put her in the buggy and you walk around the store.
Fair. And I might have said that, but also I was partly just like, well, you were home and I'm home and it just seems unnecessary. Also, you guys have to understand that like River, we might be bonding more and more every day. And I did feel like my daughter missed me, but like the way River loves Natalie is honestly special and awesome. And it's really something. And it's just like, I get a fraction of like, I just like, hey Dada, like just the fact that like my daughter knows my name and like refers to me is like pretty great. It's like, it's pretty exciting as a dad, but like she freaks out. Like if she's not with her mom for 10 minutes and then her mom pops around the corner, River is just like, ah! It's really the best. So I was just a little nervous, because honestly, sometimes when, most of the time when we drive with River, well, you're usually driving and I'm usually in back, like keeping River preoccupied. So like she wasn't going to be preoccupied, but she was well behaved. She was great. We played River's really into music. Maybe that's another thing where I feel like I've told Natalie several times. I feel like River has like a a music bone of some kind. She likes to dance. She just enjoys music.
Someone in the bathroom at the airport, I was changing River's diaper and she was just kind of like, "Ah, yeah, 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 yeah." And the woman came up to me, she was like, she's going to be a singer. And I was like, okay, period.
No, but she really seems into it. So anyways, I went on Spotify and played like the greatest driving hits of all time, which started with some Fleetwood Mac.
Oh,
and we had a nice little 2 10-minute car rides and went to a little grocery shopping. When Natalie asked, she was just like, I've been with her all for 3 days. And then I was like, that's a good point. So we went and had a good day. So it was a moment for us. We made a good team. People who are still figuring out if they can be a good team with babies are Kyle and Amanda. I was surprised by how that ended. I mean, it was a real conversation. It was really interesting to see, and I get both of their answers, but I am curious. I wonder how much of that was like them willing to have that conversation for like TV purposes, or like, is that something that she, like, to drop that bomb 3 years into a marriage and to say you've been thinking about it for a year it's a lot to process. Like, there's a little bit of like, you didn't tell me, why didn't you tell me? And then there's some sensitivity on that conversation.
She makes a good point of being like, you're not bringing up a kid every day and you're still coming home at 5 a.m. hammered and like you're showing zero signs of ready to like not, doing that stuff.
Well, that's a great point. And it kind of like I said, watching the past 2 weeks of Summer House, like I had this kind of epiphany for all the people who listen to Ask Nick and we talk about situationships and dating and dating culture. When Swartz, and I love Swartz, he's a great guy, but like when Swartz and Kyle are talking about being good dads, and I'm sure like, yeah, they seem like good people and Swartz has a great heart, but like, and again, maybe this is his TV, but like they're the boyishness of like, the way these guys, like Jesse specifically with Lexi, how entitled they are to make sure they have fun at a party or on a Saturday night, and how like to ask them to give that up, they kind of stomp their feet and throw a little bit of a fit about like, well, I'm just trying to have fun, and it made me think about, listen, if you're out there, ladies, or I'd say this to anyone, I guess, but I think it's more like if you're in your mid-20s, early 30s, and you're dating someone and you're in a situationship, like ask yourself, like, are these serious people? Because like, Jesse and West, I've never met Jesse. I've met West. He's funny. He's likable. He's affable, but like he's kind of an unserious guy right now. So much of his life is unserious. Like Jesse, it's like the way they live their life is a bit unserious. Like they kind of act like adult things are just kind of like a waste of their time. And if you're out there and you're like dating someone and like their lifestyle is very unserious, like they're not going to want to date you, especially if you're in a situationship. Like think about it, like defining a relationship, that's a serious conversation. Being a boyfriend, there's a seriousness to it. But like these are a bunch of guys who just who gets on a fucking trampoline in the middle of the night to watch Zootopia on a laptop with 4 like of your bros. Like that's just like a very unserious thing. I mean, I guess they're like fun and all, but like that's not I guess Kyle is married, but like these are people who just they don't want to have the responsibility of being a partner or a dad. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just too much for them. And if you're dating someone who's just unserious about like being an adult, they're just not I wouldn't date them.
No, I mean, yeah, Jesse caring more about like having fun at the party than checking in on Lexi, like just proves.
Mm-hmm.
Wes seems like at least 2 or 3 years away from like maybe being in a relationship. Like nothing about his lifestyle says, I want someone saying,
let's go to bed.
Yeah. Can we do something else? Yeah. I want to do this. I want to do that. Can you not do this so we can do that?
But I will say, I think like the one thing that I would encourage for like a healthy relationship for any 2 people is like to go to bed at the same time. Like I think that's so important for us.
I guess I just take that for granted.
Yeah, right? Like I thought about it while you were away of like I get in the bed and like you're right there. It's not like you're staying out in the living room and like watching a movie on your own or like doing like playing video games or like doing like we get in the bed
don't
at
think-
the
I don't-
same
I
time
don't think
and
there's
like
ever a night that we went to bed.
separately, right? Ever in the 5 years we've been together, we've never like.
I've never been like, yeah, I'm just gonna stay up and watch a movie.
It's crazy, and
Or
people
vice
do
versa.
that, and I think
Yeah.
that like causes like and I think it causes disconnection.
What
in
about you guys?
relationships.
Not to put you on the spot, but like, I'm sure we're the exception in terms of every night. But how often do you guys go to bed at the same time? Assuming you're in the same house, like assuming like like obviously you're both with partners who travel a lot.
We're usually in bed like by 9:30ish. And if I am like, I'll feed Louie and then come into bed. If I'm coming to bed and Danny's already asleep, I'm pissed.
Yeah,
Like so mad.
so
I'm
valid.
just like, how dare you go to sleep before I get into
no,
bed?
that's so valid.
So yeah, I agree. But I can go to bed before him. That's allowed.
Yes, of course.
No. There's one day we should make a list of all the things that you ladies like assume doesn't count for you.
It's a long list. Sierra, what about you?
No, we never go to sleep at the same time. He's more of a night owl, and I am asleep on the couch. If I watch something with him starting at 8:30, I wake up at 9:30 pissed off on the couch and like trudge to bed. So
Well, you guys have
And then
been
we have a
together
guest
for
room
how
for a
long?
reason.
So you guys are clearly
8 years.
exceptions to our rule. So
yeah.
we can go fuck ourselves.
Sorry.
No, I just don't want to. I don't want to be like calling you and Connor out. Like, well, fuck that
I think
relationship.
people have different things that work for their relationship. I'm just saying if you're feeling a disconnection
Yeah.
in your relationship
Yeah.
and y'all do that, maybe
Yeah.
try going to bed together.
Like everyone is definitely do your thing, but like you don't have the relationship that we have if you don't. Do it.
yeah.
You know what my
I'm the
favorite
same way, Sierra.
we're allowed to do it, but you're not allowed to do it thing
What?
is mess. Like
Yeah.
my mess is okay, but if Danny leaves a sock on the floor or anything, like, nope,
Mm-hmm.
not allowed. But my mess is okay.
I will say though, because Natalie is a fairly messy people. We're person. We're similar in that regard. Sorry if that offends you. Neither of us are filthy, but we're both a little messy. But Natalie's not. Natalie's pretty good in that very specific department about not being a hypocrite.
Weird.
Meaning she just doesn't get upset with you for like having.
I
for
just
your
don't
mess.
feel like she nags at me about my mess, and I do leave a trail.
I
Yeah.
get pissed at Connor because he cooks. He cooks in our house for us, but he is such a messy cook that like
leaves
you
the
can literally
dishes.
see all of the ingredients, what went into
Ye-
it, where he did
Mhm.
what. And that drives me crazy, but it's also like hypocritical because I don't do the dishes either because I don't cook. So I'm like, I can't really say anything, but I walk into the kitchen and I'm like, how did you do this?
That's
Like,
something
have
I
to
really need to
have
work
to
on.
comment.
Yeah, actually, Natalie, I need, for the longest time, I didn't wear an apron, and Natalie's mom got me one for, I think, my Christmas
Christmas,
or something, whatever. And I was like, wow, this is genius. Because I have so many I have so many oil stains on like every
Like an
fucking shirt.
apron.
There's an oil stain on this shirt. It's like on every fucking shirt. It's really, and it never dawned on me that I can wear an apron. And I need to cook way more efficiently and cleaner. I do. I will say I really appreciate with Natalie is that like we have a handful of individual bad habits. For example, Natalie,
I don't think we need examples.
this if I don't take this is a half drinking matcha. This will sit here
Okay.
for weeks. Weeks.
Yes, the collection of cups.
Oh my God, there's just half drinking cups everywhere. But every time I point it out, she'll bring up one of my several bad habits, and then we're both kind of like, touche. And then we kind of
That's one of the worst things ever is being called out on like something that you do, and then it's just like, fuck, you're right.
I
but I'm
honestly
not
kind of
gonna
find it helpful because I know I do that shit, and then I will get irritated at Natalie for the cups. And then when she brings it up, I'm like, okay, well, I probably should be less irritated about the cups.
Like last night in bed, I like said
Literally.
something about how I'm like, Nick makes something so well, and he was like, I'm gonna be honest, you got to learn like how to cook right. Like you've got to, and I was like, whoa, first of all,
She was
I
like,
just
shut the fuck up. I was with your
4
daughter for 3
days
days.
without you
Compliment.
and survived. We had 3 meals a day. Who do you think cooked them? Me. Who do you think ate well? Us. I was like, we're good,
I shut
buddy.
the fuck up. I shut the fuck up. Yeah.
Not the time.
It was. I mean,
It was crazy. It came out of left field. I was like, "Holy fuck!" Like, okay.
I put River to bed, and when I got like Natalie was like asleep on the chair, like as if she passed out. Just like seconds later, you were clearly exhausted.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, she doesn't stop.
Anything else we have to talk about from Summer House?
Sierra and I were talking about this earlier about Summer House, just about how like it kind of is starting to feel like two completely different shows.
Say more.
Like you have Lindsay and Carl and Kyle and Amanda and Paige, and it just feels like their problems and what they're dealing with is like more adult. And then you have Lexi and Jesse and West, and it's like more of that like young 20s drama. And
well, I wouldn't say just young 20s. Jesse's in his late 20s, early 30s. But I will say, yeah, the dating drama, less established, haven't figured it out yet. Totally, yeah.
And when it
seeing
really
Kyle,
seeing Kyle being in the kitchen and like Lexi and Jesse are having this public argument. And normally Kyle would be like, fuck yeah, we're in a public fight going on here. Like I'm living for this. And he's just sitting there so bored. And he's like, do you guys have to be doing this like in public? Can you go get a room?
Yeah, that was kind of weird that he like tried to shut that down. It was
It
Just,
just
like,
made me feel
disinterested.
like these are two different shows now. Like they couldn't care less about Lexi and Jesse's drama. It's like I'm 42 and I want to have a kid and I don't know if Amanda wants one. And you guys have been together for less than a month and you're like fighting.
Yeah, it's like I don't think we'll ever see Paige like making out with someone on this show again or like hooking up. Like we're past that with Paige. She's not doing that anymore. And
she's packing to go home outfits.
As she should.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love that.
Like that's where her mental energy is going, is to like looking like a boss queen as she like leaves the weekend of debauchery.
But that's kind of like what I thought of, like, you know, oh, how funny was it that like she like made out with Carl in the pantry and like whatever. And then it's like, that will never we'll never see that from Paige again. And it's just because like that's not who she is. Like she's not that version of herself anymore. And like we need a like, not a revamp of Summer House, but maybe just like, taking the older cast and giving them a new show and making Summer House like the younger craziness where we do get more of that. Like,
does Kyle have any kind of producer credit? You know, we all kind of like infer that like Kyle started this, but like how much, if any, control does he have over Summer House? Like, is it his? Like, can they fire him?
I mean, Lindsay has said that her, Carl, and Kyle like created the show so that they know, like they set the standards, but I don't think they have a producer credit.
He is not a producer on the show.
To be honest, I'm more invested in their drama. Like
Whose
I know
drama?
that it's in Kyle, Amanda.
Oh, I'm more
Lindsay.
invested in Jesse and Lexi for sure.
Really?
But that's why we were like, we kind of need two shows.
I think you're right though, because I mean, Lindsay Hubbard also, she's pictured with Jessel this weekend too, so I think we know there's like a shakeup with Summer House coming.
I just want, the older people. I will follow Paige doing her Amazon Live. I'll follow Amanda doing her bathing suit line and then coming home to dealing with her DJ boyfriend in her apartment. Like, I would rather see that than... I personally like I'm not really invested.
But also the point of bringing Jesse and Wes in last season, I think, was to like
shake it up,
make it young.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly feel like at this point for Paige, I feel like going on this show is like a net negative. I don't feel like it's helping her career outside of Summer House. I mean, she's thriving, like, her business partner, essentially, like Hannah Berner, they're both thriving equally. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's not like, Hannah hasn't been on Summer House. I just don't feel like Paige needs it at this point. I don't know if it's really helping her at this point, other than just being kind of a headache to have to film, watch it back, give like people who are not you the control of your edit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm Paige, like, I don't know what she's making or what they're paying her. So maybe it's just like a really nice paycheck that's like tough to, just let go. But I feel like she doesn't need it, but.
She's a big part of Summer House, though.
I was gonna say, and when
so I'm sure they're paying her a good amount.
Yeah, maybe.
Stay.
Yeah, I mean, she probably has more value to them than the other way around. That's for sure. Up next, the hottest new country star in country music, Tucker Wetmore, joins us, and it's a great conversation.
Spring is all about fresh starts and growth, and what better time to start learning a new language? With Rosetta Stone, you can make real progress in a way that feels natural and engaging. Let me tell you, my aunt and cousins live in Spain. They've lived in Spain my whole life, most of my aunt's life, and are clearly fluent in Spanish. And I was always so jealous because they would get together, they'd speak in Spanish, and I was like, I need to learn this. It's family. I need to be able to understand what they're saying. And with Rosetta Stone, it's so easy and they make it really fun. No English translations, so you truly learn to speak, listen, and think in your chosen language. An intuitive learning process. You start with words, you build to phrases, and you progress to full sentences. It's designed for long-term retention, so what you learn can stick with you.
Whether you are interested in learning Spanish, French, Italian, German, Korean, Chinese, Japanese, Vietnamese, Dutch, and more, Rosetta Stone has you covered. Learn faster, retain longer. Rosetta Stone immerses you in your new language naturally, helping you think and communicate with confidence. So, if you are looking to upgrade your languages today, don't wait. Unlock your language learning potential now. The Viall Files listeners can grab Rosetta Stone's lifetime membership for 50% off. That is half off, people. So get it while it is available. That's unlimited access to 25 language courses for life. So you can go certainly at your own speed. Visit www.rosettastone.com/VIALL to get started and claim your 50% off today. Don't miss out. Go to www.rosettastone.com/VIALL and start learning today. We know how busy everyone is. We're busy, you're busy, everyone's busy. And whether you are shopping for groceries or shopping for a car, you want to make that process as easy and as efficient as possible. And when it comes to shopping for cars, Car Gurus is the place to go because they make that experience almost like going in the grocery store, because when it comes to buying a car, we all know that doesn't always feel that way. It can be a lot more complicated and it feels like more of a hassle than it needs to be, but not with Car Gurus.
Shopping for a car should be exciting, not exhausting, but between misleading prices and hidden fees, it can feel like an absolute maze. That's where Car Gurus comes in. They rank the best deals, verify dealers, and make sure you never pay more than you should. Your big deal, it just became a great deal.
Car Gurus will connect you with trusted dealerships when you are ready, ensuring a transparent and hassle-free buying process with over 4 million listings. Car Gurus has more car listings than any other major online automotive marketplace in the U.S., so you can find the best deals. Car Gurus gives you the control to shop how you want to shop with the tools, information, and data-driven deal ratings you need.
It's no wonder SimilarWeb estimated traffic data shows Car Gurus is the #1 most visited car shopping site. Buy or sell your next car today with Car Gurus at cargurus.com. Go to cargurus.com to make sure your big deal is the best deal. That's CARGURUS.com, cargurus.com.
Tucker, welcome to the show, man.
Thanks for having me. How you doing?
I'm great. We just saw you in concert, man. It was great.
What'd you think? How'd I do?
You're pretty talented.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
I appreciate
you got some music chops.
I try.
Yeah,
every once in a while.
Yeah.
How was Stagecoach for you?
It was something. It was fun. It was a long weekend. Luckily, I played on Friday, so I wasn't too beat by the time showtime hit. But it was a fun weekend. We did a lot of partying for sure.
It was a full crowd, and you were at what, like 5 o'clock? 4 or 5? Something like. I feel like a lot of people usually don't get to the concert until later, but like I knew I wanted to see you. I knew that we needed to be there at like prime 3 o'clock to like get a good spot, and it was a full.
It felt good.
Yeah.
People showed up for Tucker.
Fun.
People showed up for Tucker.
Yeah.
Someone's gotta.
As someone who is a brunette, there's no recognition for us. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of like everyone loves blondes. We get it.
Yeah.
We're over it.
I mean, honestly, all you really had was, and you don't even have brown, like that, My Brown-Eyed Girl. What's that song?
Yeah,
you know, where it's like a
not
lot of
even
them are
really
brunettes, you know.
country.
Brown-eyed girl.
Yeah. I guess.
So any girl with brown eyes was like, "This is my song." This is my
But
song.
which
For the
they
last
also
34
felt
years.
Yeah.
So thank you
some
for the
time has
representation.
passed. Truly, have you felt like there's been a wave of like brunettes who are flocking to you now because they feel like you want them?
I don't know about flocking, but like
For sure.
definitely the DMs are pretty swarmed with some
Gonna say,
brunettes.
Do you
not a no.
respond? Do you read DMs? Do you respond to DMs?
Not often.
Yeah,
Not
I mean, it's how I met my wife.
Really?
I
Yeah,
did. I slid
yeah.
into his DMs.
Really? I mean, I check him every once in a while, but I got
You might be
This-
interested. I'm just saying.
this last weekend. I was pretty tuned up on like
Yeah.
Saturday night or something like that, and somebody came to the house. I threw a party at the house, and somebody goes, "Dude, Sydney Sweeney's here this weekend." I go, "Oh, I'm DMing her." I was pretty confident.
But she's
but-
blonde.
Yeah.
So which one is it?
No comment. I didn't get a DM back, by the way. Absolutely
Yeah,
not.
make it clear.
What was the message?
Hi, Sydney.
That's
That's
it.
it. That's it. I was
Honestly-
chuckling too. I was like, huh.
Honestly,
Sydney.
we've come to the conclusion that like it doesn't have to be clever, and I think a lot of people feel like,
Well,
Yeah.
I think it depends what direction the DMs are going.
what do you mean?
Okay.
Well, when you DM'd me, yeah, I don't. You just had to say hi.
What did you say?
I said you're unreal. I don't know.
And it
It was off
worked.
the tongue.
Yeah, I looked at her pictures and I was like, yeah, absolutely, for sure.
You are too.
I'm in.
Sign me up.
But yeah, I think the ladies are a little more cautious. They dig a little deeper.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, you seem like a funny,
I
charming,
don't
talented
agree.
guy.
Yeah, they
Y-
ladies are bold, man.
Mm.
Yeah.
Especially in the DM world, they're bold. They say some wild things sometimes. So I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever felt violated by reading one?
Yeah. A couple of times.
Have you ever gotten like nudes in the DMs?
No, I don't have it so like people can send me
Oh, of
pictures
course.
and
Yes,
stuff
of
like
course.
that. I
Yes.
filter all that
Do
out.
not send.
No.
That's
him
not
a nude.
really
He will
that's
not
not really
see
my
it.
forte.
No.
Not interested in nudes.
he got real serious.
I'm
He did. He got really serious.
I'm a man of God.
He's-
You know,
yeah, he would
I
never.
try to stay
Was
straight.
there a brunette that kind of fucked you up a little bit, and that's why you?
No, it's a blonde that fucked him up, and that's why now he's on to brunettes.
Oh,
Because he
Yeah.
wants nothing that reminds him of the blondes.
That's
but then
right.
when
Is that
Sydney,
right?
when,
And
Syd-
then
when
Sydney,
she shows
of
up,
course.
he's like, "Oh, I'm back in the
Then
saddle."
then I got drunk and heard Sydney Sweeney was in the same town. So
yeah. Forgot all about it.
yeah.
I have a guilty pleasure, and that is watching TikTok lives. And I
Okay.
don't like ever join them, right? Like I'll just watch them. So maybe that's like cheating because I'm not giving them like the
You're
not,
view
like,
or
tapping
that I
into
don't
them?
like tap
Yeah.
in and like give them likes or whatever. I don't know. But I just like to watch them. And you used to come up on my TikTok live algorithm
Did I really?
quite a lot.
Yeah.
And I think it was before you had released any music. Like this was like, or maybe you had released some. Nothing had popped yet. But
Yeah.
like I thought you were just this random guy who would like sing a little bit while like cooking.
Yeah. I did that quite a bit.
And then what was your 3-2-1 your first? What was your no
Wine and whiskey.
Yeah.
like last February.
Yes, wine and whiskey. And I was like singing to it on the radio, and I was like, I knew every word. I like loved the song. And then I don't know if I like saw a picture or what, but I'm like, is this the fucking TikTok?
That's that dude.
Like, what is he doing here?
That's that idiot that sits in his
Like, wait a minute.
sits in his kitchen.
He actually can't, like most people, you know, will just like sing on TikTok but like you have made, you're like famous, you're real. And it was
I
like
don't know
a
about that,
crazy
but-
Every once in a while,
correlation.
Natalie will show me the people she's watching on TikTok lives, and I never thought any of them would make it. She didn't show me you, but I
Okay.
gotta
Right.
say, you know, like,
Where's
He's like,
this
"Am
going?"
me included?
she did
Yeah,
not
yeah.
show me you. You're a handsome fellow, you know,
Well,
but
thanks,
like,
man.
there's some interesting people on there.
It
There
was
is,
such a
yeah.
nice surprise to be like, oh my God, no, he actually
One of my people
like,
made it.
My people have made it. Yes, there you are.
I know this guy.
There you
That's
are.
Funny.
Is that kind of how your success started off TikTok?
Yeah, kind of. So I mean, I was writing songs in Nashville, or not, still, but for like 3 or 4 years before dropping my first song, and we finally got to the point where we're like, hey, let's start teasing some of these things on TikTok, see what happens, and then Wine and Whiskey happened, and then Wind Up Missing You happened, and then the rest is history. From
It's
there.
honestly been like one after the other. I feel like you haven't really
It's been
hit a
been
dull
something.
moment.
I hope not.
I mean,
I hope I don't get there. I'm,
yeah,
I'm
well,
having
of
too much
course.
fun.
Yeah, of course, of course. What is like your life looking like right now?
Crazy. I mean, I'm in a new city every day. Sometimes even a new state every day. Playing shows for sold out crowds.
Crazy.
Playing Stagecoach. That was sick.
Yeah.
Just dropped my first album. That's insane. Yeah, I mean, my life has changed more than I ever thought it could in the last year.
It's
you know.
been, yeah.
Is
been
it
crazy.
is it more like just absolutely surreal, like pinch me, or is there a little bit of like, I fucking knew this day would come. A little
No.
bit, like.
Yeah, it's definitely pinched me. I feel like everything was happening so fast in the last year and couple months that I didn't really have a chance to like sit down for the first 6 months and realize what was going on. I was just so go. But lately it's been pretty surreal. Like I feel like I'm waking up every day and being like, is this really happening?
How was playing for Jimmy Kimmel Live?
It was sick.
Yeah.
It was quick.
Yeah,
It was a lot of prep time for
yeah.
like a 2.5 minute song. But I thought we sounded pretty decent. You know, it was fun.
Is it just like another check the box of cool things you've done? What is maybe the coolest thing you've done where it was like you really couldn't believe, like, holy shit, I'm here?
Oh gosh, there's been a couple. Late night, playing late night was definitely one of those bucket list items that I checked off last night. I don't know, playing the Opry, that was pretty cool. Stagecoach, Red Rocks, my first number one at the top of the year. That was sick. Releasing my first album over the weekend. That was pretty intense. Everything. Truly, everything great is happening. I don't know.
Is it all
of it?
When the album comes out, it comes out at midnight, I would imagine, right?
Yeah, it depends on where you're at. So like on the East Coast, it'll come out
right,
at
like-
midnight. So
yeah,
here
yeah,
it was like 9 or 10.
Did you, where were you when the album came out?
I was playing a show in Sacramento, and we did a whole thing before the show because we were hitting stage at 9:15, and then the album drop was at 9. And so I had hopped up on stage. I was like, "Hey, this is gonna be a little different show tonight. Usually I don't come out until that first beat drops." But I prayed over the crowd. We were opening a new venue, and so it was the first show of the venue, and it was like opening night, and then I was dropping my album that night. So I prayed over the venue, I prayed over the crowd, prayed over the album. The guys up there with me, and my whole team was up there, and some of my family, and my niece, and my
That's
mom,
cool,
and
yeah.
it was a special moment. So we counted down from 10, and then the album dropped, and then I walked off, and then we rocked out on stage.
That's sick.
It was fun.
That
was
sounds
sick.
fun. You're on tour right now with who?
This
Yourself?
week, I'm doing a headline
You
right now.
are?
Yeah. We got our last weekend this weekend in Texas.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy as fuck. What was like that call like you're headlining your own tour?
Pretty nuts. So I did my first. So we're on Waves on a Sunset Part 2 essentially, and the Part 1 was last fall, and I didn't really know what to expect, if I'm being honest, because I had opened up for a couple people, over the summer, and then like Cameron Marlowe, Luke Bryan, a couple, Jordan Davis for a one-off, a couple different people, and like, hey, I think it's time to headline. I was like, all right. So I didn't know what to expect. And then I showed up to the shows and started playing, and it was nuts, dude. Like the crowd is like progressively getting crazier and crazier, but even back then it was insane.
What do you look at when you're on stage?
Sometimes the back wall.
Yeah.
If I'm trying to focus, sometimes the cute girl up front.
Oh, you're scouting?
Have you ever met someone in the audience?
No, not really.
No.
We don't really do that.
You don't like see someone and then tell like a manager like, hey, the like blonde in like the front in the
point
red
them out.
dress.
That's
Yeah.
great. No. I don't think I've ever done that, if I'm being honest.
I feel like you're missing out.
Yeah, I feel
Maybe.
like you're like missing out on like your like rock star power of like being able to pull someone from.
Oh, that's an abuse of power. I would never do that.
They would love it. It would make
It
their life.
it says
They would be
here,
like,
happy to
"Keep-"
talk and chat about all things dating. Do you like talking about dating?
Not really, but I'm down.
He didn't write that.
I didn't write that.
I sold your team out. Sorry, guys.
That's all right. Yeah, let's do it. Why not?
What is your love life like?
And non-existent. I am so busy that I can't
Mm.
even fathom. I was just talking to my tour manager last night over dinner, and I was like, dude, because we were talking about, I was asking him how his wife's doing, because we don't really get to talk like that too often. We're just so busy. I was asking him how his wife's doing, and then I was like, dude, I couldn't even fathom being on the road right now and doing everything that I'm doing with not a responsibility, but like,
Sure.
a person that I have to
I mean,
take
hey, like,
care of.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
It is a
look
responsibility
over.
in a way.
It is. Yeah. I couldn't do that. Screw that, if I'm being honest.
So maybe we rephrase the question. Maybe it's like, how's your sex life? No.
Banging.
Non-existent. I'm too
Jesus
busy.
is watching. Jesus
That's
is
right.
watching.
Jesus
yeah.
is watching.
Yeah.
Jesus is watching. Are you like wanting to date someone in the same sphere as you, or are you like wanting a normie? Are you wanting no one? Are you
A normie. I guess I'd be open to both. I'd be kind of skeptical. I don't know. I've been in a couple relationships where they're in it for like the wrong reasons. So now it'd be even like more tough.
yeah?
Kind of weeding out like
How
who's good and who's bad.
How'd you get a sense of that you felt like that it wasn't like you that they were like dating, but more like
The
you know,
idea.
Yeah, the idea of you.
Taking opportunities
Okay.
more often than they should. Like being opportunistic You know, obviously, like, go do your own thing, have, you know, pop off, queen, you know, do your thing.
Yeah.
But it's just a vibe that
It like gave
that
you
I
an icky
got.
feeling.
It did. And then, you know, I lean super heavy on the people around me, and, you know, we're always talking, and, you know, my family, my friends, and they wean out the bad ones before I can, you know, because when I love hard, and that's,
Do you fall easy?
yeah, I guess sometimes.
Men usually do.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't with me.
Oh shit! All right.
If you want to get into it.
That's not true. I mean, like, you know.
I should leave.
No, it's okay. It's fine. We do this all the time.
Do you know
I'm
what
just
we asked Riley Green this question, and his brain exploded.
Yeah.
What's your love languages?
What?
Yeah, that was Riley. Riley Green's response was like the Chinese dragon.
You don't know what love
I'm a
languages are?
Scorpio.
Yeah, he was like, I think I'm a rat or
He
something.
said English. What's your love language? English.
You don't know.
Sometimes French.
Yeah, no.
No, I'm just kidding.
French.
It sounds kind of silly. It sounds like
A horoscope, but
yeah.
made up.
But it's like it's
thing.
something honestly you should learn about yourself.
Okay.
And it's like the idea. Well, one, it's how do you receive love? Like, so what can someone, your girlfriend, do for you that makes you go, they like me. This person cares about me, as opposed to like, and then like, how do you show love? Like, you know, how do you do that? So there's 5 categories.
Okay, what are they?
There's acts of service.
Okay.
So like you like doing things for your partner.
Making
You
a
like,
cup of coffee in the
make-
morning.
That's how I love
Yeah.
others.
yeah.
Like I'm a huge like if I feel
A lot
like
of
I'm
men
taking,
are, yeah.
if I feel like I'm taking care of you and your well being,
There you go.
I feel pretty happy.
Yeah,
in
I'm
the
like
relationship.
that. I'm like
Yeah.
that. Then there's physical touch. You want to be, touched.
Depends on the time of day.
Yeah. Okay. I'm the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
They can get too close,
What
right?
kind of mood did I wake up in? I don't know.
Yeah. It's like I
You
like to be
don't-
touched, but it's smothered. Ugh.
You're not
Yeah,
looking
yeah,
for
I'm not
someone
gonna
to like want to be in your back pocket or be like crawl into your skin with you.
Not
You're-
necessarily, no.
Okay. You're
Yeah.
looking for like maybe when it's the right day, right time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
some affection.
That
Like,
seems normal.
like if it's just us, hell yeah, let's.
And
Let's
then,
hang out, you know?
Yeah.
then we got words of affirmation. So like,
Okay.
I love you, you know,
Or you're doing great.
you look handsome today,
Mhm,
you know?
I think that's how I like to be loved.
Yeah. Okay. Like, I'm really
Yeah.
proud of you. You're like, wow, you're
Dude, yeah,
the
that's
best
like
musician ever. Like, I'm really cool. That's what
Well, I'm
awesome.
not, but like,
But like, you know,
it's-
imagine your partner thinking that and
Yeah.
making you believe that, you know?
I think that's what I enjoy.
And then quality time, I think is, gifts and quality
Gifts
time.
and quality time.
So
yeah,
like, you like just actually hanging out
with each other.
with each other.
Yeah.
And
I
then
like
give.
that.
Yeah.
Getting gifts.
I don't like receiving gifts.
See-
I'd rather give gifts.
See, we're similar. We're
Yeah.
similar. Acts of service, hate gifts.
But he likes to give them.
No, I
Yep.
don't.
That's what you just said.
Yeah,
You like
I
to give 'em.
gifts.
Oh.
That's
You
what
know,
you just said.
I don't. Yeah.
Nick
Yeah.
hates a gift. He's
Gifts
like,
in general,
fuck
I
Mother's
suck at
Day.
'em.
Anxiety.
it
It's
might
just
be
all
a-
it is a problem.
might be a color book page that I worked on at breakfast, but
At
It's a
Cracker
gift.
Barrel.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
A
sweet.
gift is something I survived through.
yeah,
It's awful.
Gotta change that perspective.
he hates to see birthdays coming.
Yeah, literally, it's like,
we just had our 1-year wedding
you like it?
anniversary, and
Thank
he was
God.
like,
Oh,
"What sh-
congratulations! That's
Thank you.
awesome.
Yeah.
He was like, "What should we do? Do you want to do like a joint gift, and maybe like you could figure it all out, and then we could just get the same thing for each other?" And I was like, "Sure."
Yeah, we should get a side by side.
We got matching rings.
Something
A
just
joint
for him.
gift.
We got matching
Yeah.
rings.
We got matching.
That's great.
rings.
Yeah,
We did.
sure.
We
Yeah.
did.
Yeah. That's really that's how you get out of it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Something sentimental.
Are you wearing it?
Yeah, that's right here. Yeah.
Yes,
Oh, there
he's
you
got to
go.
get it
I
sized.
have to get it really
It's a
sized,
little-
yeah.
It's
Gotcha.
a little too big, but yeah, you know,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do?
So you taught yourself how to play the guitar at 11.
Piano.
Piano.
Sorry,
And
piano.
guitar around the same time, but
Because when you got up there and you were playing the piano on Saturday, I was like very, very envious of you. I'm always very envious of people who could do things that I can't do. And I took piano lessons as a kid, and then they said quit.
Yeah.
And you got up there and
Hey, you
just,
should just. Hey,
Was that
it's all right.
something your parents were like, I'm putting you in piano, you're gonna learn, or you were like, I want to do this?
Yeah, I pretty much sat down at piano one day and then didn't get up for years.
really.
And I would come home from practice or from school and throw my backpack in the corner, and I'd sit down and clank on the keys until like 10 o'clock at night every single day
Hmm.
until I was like probably 15.
What was the first song you learned?
Oh gosh.
Do,
I
re,
think-
mi, fa, sol,
Yeah.
la, ti, do.
I used to play
I think-
chopsticks a lot, and my mom would tell me to stop.
I think it might have been chopsticks.
That's all. I never got
Yeah.
past
Universal, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What
Oh.
what was remind me of the song you played at Stagecoach on the piano?
Oh, there's
Uh,
a couple.
You take my
Oh yeah.
What was that?
that?
Oh yeah, Ring of Fire. No,
yeah.
yeah.
Goodness gracious.
Great Balls of Fire.
Great Balls of
Great
Fire.
Balls of
Thank
Fire.
you.
There you
Yeah.
go.
I did that one, and then we did. Did I do Bohemian Rhapsody? No. But
No.
I do in the other shows. I just didn't have enough time. And then we did some Hank Williams Jr. Then we did Keep Your Hands to Yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Georgia Satellites.
What's been like your like growing up? Who's been kind of the country artist that you look towards?
Oh gosh, there's a couple. I mean, okay, so I kind of grew up a mutt to music, if I'm being honest. I grew up listening to reggae. I come from like a Samoan family on my dad's side, like classic rock, heavy metal, and then like country radio. So
Yeah.
I love like Jerry Lee Lewis, Elton John, Billy Joel, Queen, Hall & Oates, Jim Croce, the Eagles, Fleetwood Mac. That's my stuff right there.
Did you see any of Creed or like did you stick around for like the rest of the
I
weekend?
missed it.
You did.
I missed it. I was very tired at that point, and I was like, I can't go back to the fairgrounds.
Yeah.
But Creed is one of my all-time favorites. With arms wide open.
Period.
Do you? I mean, you obviously play a lot of covers, and young artists obviously did a lot. Is it really cool to like? You're up there and you start playing your music, and you see, the audience like, just get as excited about your music as the covers. Is that? Do you remember the first time you felt that moment?
Yeah, dude. It was actually during which that's the best feeling in the world, man. It was during CMA Fest, I think, and I was fixing to play the Hard Rock stage, and it was my first CMA Fest last year. I think it was like last July or something, and I wasn't really knowing what to expect. I had Wine to Whiskey out. I think I had just dropped Wind Up Missing You like a month or two before that, and I hadn't really played a lot of live shows that are like anyone can come kind of thing. And I walked on stage, and there was a sea of people in Broadway. There was like 8,500 people. They closed down Broadway. They had to send out like an Amber Alert on the CMA app saying, "Hey, Broadway is shut down for Tucker Wetmore set." Yada yada. It was nuts.
That's cool.
Yeah, I wish I had a picture of it.
I was about to
That's
say
awesome.
you should have screenshot that and like
Yeah.
printed it.
It was nuts.
Damn, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
but everybody was singing every word.
Wow. Was
Yeah.
that the first time you realized like, holy fuck, I've made like a viral, like I've done it. Like everyone knows my songs.
It was a good indicator of what's to come, I'd say. It was definitely the first time where I was like, damn, I might have a shot. I might be able to do this.
That must have been a cool feeling.
Best feeling of my life. It was sick, and I get it,
Yeah.
almost every night on stage still. It's cool.
What's been your favorite song you've released this far?
I don't know. That's a tough one. So I just dropped an album with
Mhm.
19 songs, and I got a couple of favorites. Like Bad Luck Looks Good on Me. That's the one I sang on Kimmel last night. It's probably one of my favorites. Drink Alone's a good one.
Were you able to choose the song that you sing on Kimmel?
Yeah.
Or did that you were? They were just like,
They
sing
tried
whatever.
to kind of lean me another way, but I was like, no, I want to do this. It's,
Yeah,
it's my first late night. I kind of want to sing something that, not that I enjoy singing more than others, but
Sure.
something that feels good for late night.
How was your first late night experience?
It was cool.
Yeah.
It was really cool. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, it was quick. There was a lot of prep time for a very short amount of
Does it feel weird
time.
like showing up in the afternoon, and thinking that was for me when the first time I did that, because you think you're watching it late. It's late night, like
Yeah.
nighttime, and you're like, yeah, you're showing up at 3:00, and
Yeah,
then you record
exactly.
at 5. And
Yeah, it was
yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
On your fun facts, it says, "What are you watching?" And it says you're more of a movie guy,
I
and
am.
then it says anyone but you in parentheses, which is
Does it
Sydney
really?
Sweeney.
Sydney Sweeney?
Big fan.
Well, all right.
Do you like that shower scene?
Who did that?
And love Sydney.
That's hilarious.
What'd you think of that movie?
Good.
Big fan.
It's good.
Yeah, barely watched it.
Yeah, I love movies. I'm a
Wait,
big Marvel
is
guy,
it-
if I'm being honest.
Marvel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you going to
Yeah.
see Thunderbolt?
Thunderbolts, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
rated well.
That comes out soon, don't it?
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
good, and
Mhm.
very high
That
ratings.
this is a new character in
Cool.
Marvel.
It's a comic book. Nothing's new.
Yeah.
Because
Yes,
it's
of
all based
course,
off
it's all
old comics.
Yeah.
Of course.
They're bringing people from like some of the TV shows, some like the other people from movies who aren't dead, putting
Love
them in
that.
a new
Sure.
movie,
Yeah.
the
That's so
cinematic
exciting.
universe.
Yeah, it's gonna be sick.
It's so exciting. If you were to if there were to be like a biopic about you, who would you want to play you?
A biopic, like in a movie?
Yeah. Like, we just had Timothy Chalamet do Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
Who would you?
Oh gosh, I don't know. In a reasonable sense, or like I'm a huge Ryan
Not
Reynolds
reasonable.
fan.
Okay.
I think Ryan Reynolds would be sick.
Okay.
I think I would want to do it. Honestly,
Hmm.
I think I would want to.
You'd crush your own life, you think?
I mean,
I
I would hope so.
Right now.
Can Ryan sing?
I don't know.
Good question. Did
Although-
anyone think Timothy Chalamet could sing?
I did.
No.
I didn't.
And
That movie was sick. I watched it, on
was
a plane
so
the other day.
good. So did I.
Remy Malek didn't have to sing, and he still won an Oscar. So,
For who?
Yeah.
playing
Queen.
He sang.
I think he lip synced a lot of that shit.
Did he?
I'm pretty sure.
Her face,
Uh-oh.
she's like stunned.
I was-
She's like,
Hold on.
Freddie
Heartbroken.
I'm gonna,
Hey,
I'm
we
gonna
can-
Google
Freddie
So
that.
he played
Mercury.
Freddie Mercury. Like, let's find out. Google it. Did he
Okay.
sing? I'm pretty
There-
sure he didn't.
Rami Malek sing in Bohemian Rhapsody. No. Oh, damn.
What?
Take away that
Damn.
Oscar. That's so stupid. Just because he wore
Honestly,
teeth.
That's
That's it?
nuts.
Okay.
Well, you
'Cause
can
he wore
argue. I mean,
teeth.
like,
That's crazy.
he really was acting.
Yeah, that was a great movie. Nonetheless, great movie.
Yeah, that scene, the ending, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you had a superpower, what would that superpower be?
Nowadays, I wish I could teleport because I'm
Mm.
traveling.
It's always
a lot.
mine. It's always
Yeah.
mine.
You're traveling so much. Like,
Yeah.
If I just get there.
Yeah, and I like the idea of me snap my fingers. I'm in Mexico too.
Yes, of course, on a beach.
That's right.
With a beer.
That's right. Margarita.
With a margarita.
That's right.
If you could be anywhere but here.
Literally.
I wish I get the fuck out of here.
I'm just gone.
He's like, and I'm out.
No,
That's
absolutely not.
nuts. That's nuts. What has been your family's reaction to all your success? I mean, I'm sure they're so happy for you, but like, what has been, your mom, your dad's reaction to all this?
My family's ecstatic. My mom's like my biggest supporter, my biggest fan, and I mean, in more ways than giving birth to me. She's, probably one of the main reasons why I'm here and doing this. She was the one that pushed me to kind of do music after football didn't work out in college and stuff like that.
Did you play football in college?
I did.
Hell yeah.
In Montana.
What'd you really?
Mhm.
What position?
I was a receiver
Okay.
back in the day.
Yeah, good
I
on
was
them
alright.
feet.
What's your 40?
Oh, it was like oh gosh, like back in the day, it was probably like 4.47.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty quick.
Not bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean they're excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. My mom's great. My sisters are great. I grew up with 4 sisters, and they're always.
Where do you
I bet
fall
they're
in line?
loving this.
I got 3 older and then 1 younger.
Okay.
I bet they are loving all little brother's attention that he's getting right now.
Yeah, they don't mind it.
And my brother would be like, he's not that great, actually. He really can't sing. It's audition.
Wait, didn't Wes Wilson play for Montana?
I played at Montana Tech.
Montana
So in
Tech.
Butte.
Okay.
Yeah, my grades were ass, so I couldn't really
Montana
go.
State.
He
Gotcha.
played at Montana State. Okay.
Gotcha.
Wow, what a random
The
fact to
Cats.
remember about people.
Okay.
Are you a fan? Are you a Vols fan? I feel like you
I
can't
mean,
really
not
be.
really. I'm an Oregon fan, so I grew up in the Pacific Northwest, so I'm an Oregon Duck.
Where'd you get that Southern twang?
I don't know. I'm just talk slow, I guess. I'm stupid.
I'm stupid.
That's
I
about
told
it.
you my grades weren't good.
My grades were not good.
That's what they told me. They told me I was too redneck. I needed to learn how to change my accent, or people would think I was just stupid.
It's got to be great
That's
to like
okay.
feel like struggle in school. I mean, if I'm assuming there's some level of being serious that your grades weren't good or whatever, but like to be able to do what you're doing now, and I'm sure
Yeah.
there are probably teachers back in the day have been like, if you're gonna not do, you're not gonna,
Oh, 100%.
I'll
I'll
lecturing
call
you.
them out right now too.
Yeah.
Her name is. I was kidding.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
But did you have like teachers doubting you?
There was a couple for sure.
Fuck them.
Most most of my teachers were great though, and
Okay.
it's not that I sucked at school. I just didn't like homework. That was my thing. I'd rather sit there and play the piano instead of doing my homework, and I would go and ace all the tests.
Oh, so then you were smart.
No,
Yeah,
I wasn't
the fuck?
smart, but like
That sounds like a smart person.
Like, I didn't have to
I
study,
just
and I
didn't
made
do
A's on
homework.
all of my tests.
I sucked at school. I sucked at homework, but
I also sucked at homework. Right?
Yeah.
This seems stupid. Yeah.
You're on tour right now. Where can people buy tickets? Where can they come and see you? Where are you playing next?
yeah. I guess my website. I don't. That's
Tell-
above my pay grade. If I'm being honest.
He's like, I'm not in charge of none of that.
Uh,
I'm gonna go
like
ahead. and-
TuckerWetmore.com.
yeah, that's
Tucker-
it. I think.
is that what it is?
Okay, perfect.
TuckerWetmore.com.
Is that it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can spell it for you guys.
It
No,
looks
yeah, I
like
think you
you'll
guys
be
know.
in Texas through
Yeah, I'll be in-
May 2nd through the 7th.
That's good.
You got
There you go.
Nashville,
Everyone is
That's
the
what I heard.
21st.
Yeah, for the Ryman.
Yes.
Oh, that's huge.
I'm playing the Ryman.
That's huge. That's a really big deal.
That's crazy.
And for the ladies out there, if they are interested in reaching out,
And maybe they're like laid back, right?
Yeah, they're
maybe
very
they're chill.
chill,
Okay.
They don't need
respectable.
you like 100% of the time. Maybe they also
Just
like
like
work
97.
remote. Maybe they
Yeah.
like can travel with you to shows.
Yeah.
That'd be
How
nice.
fun could that be to like
Yeah.
have
what
like,
is
someone?
what is a message that would really would ring true to your heart? That would you'd notice.
What?
Yeah, like a message. What could they write you?
Oh, that
In
girls
the
can write
DMs,
me?
yeah.
That would
in
like catch your
DMs.
attention.
Yeah,
That would make you respond.
I don't know. Probably just a simple hi. I'm a simple guy.
just a hi.
Just a hey, what's up?
Okay.
How are you?
Hmm.
See what happens. I guess. I don't know.
Well, this has been fun,
was
Tucker.
a lot
Thank
of
you so
fun,
much
It's
for
man.
been
coming.
great. Thank you.
Wishing you nothing but the best, man. It's really fun to see people like rise like you've risen, man. And it's
Well, thank
you obviously are very talented, and it seems like you have nowhere to go but up. So it's excited to watch your journey go.
Well, thank you guys. I appreciate it.
All right, man. Take care. All right. Well, thank you guys for listening. Appreciate our guests, Angela Oakley and Tucker Wetmore, for joining us. We will see you tomorrow for an explosive episode of Going Deeper with Lexi Wood. Do not miss that. And Thursday is also going to be an incredible episode of Reality Recap. So join us then. We'll see you then. Bye for now. Hey guys, if you loved what you listened to, make sure you hit that subscribe button below. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.